back again, dear students, and let's see our magical world in chapter 3. Let's go to our vocab. Monster, an imaginary character having human and animal parts. Seashore, land along the sea or ocean. Desperately, hopelessly. Dew, small drops of water that fall outdoors during night. Fleet, group of ships. Command, an order given to a person. Anxious, nervous, a magic spell, form of words that have magic power. Imprison, to keep somebody somewhere as a punishment, which a woman has evil magic powers. Wicked, evil. Nymph, mermaid, invisible, not seen by others. Torture, to cause a lot of pain to somebody as punishment. Task, work that someone has to do. Who are the characters in this chapter? Of course, we know who is she, Errol, the spirit who is bound to serve Prospero. After telling his story, Prospero puts Miranda under a spell and talks to his servant Errol. So, who was the one that Prospero called at the end of the last chapter? It was Errol, his servant. And this is Errol talking to Prospero. Let's see. Wind stopped and a gentle laughter was heard. A figure appeared. How does Errol look like? A young woman with long golden hair, blowing, with white face and dark eyes. Errol tells Prospero that she caused the storm as instructed. When Prospero called Errol, it was to ask her about the tasks he had given her earlier about creating the storm and about making the crew or the king's party on board all safe. She answered him that she had caused the storm as instructed. She has landed the passengers safely on different parts of the island. She has left the king's son Ferdinand by himself, just as Prosperous instructed and ordered her. She reassured him that they all were safe near the shore. All ran about like madmen, desperately trying to save their lives. Who said that to whom? Errol said that to Prospero, described the speaker. Errol is a spirit that looked like a young woman in white dress. She has long golden hair, her face was white, and her eyes were deep and dark. Who was the speaker talking about? What happened to them? Errol was talking about the people on the ship and what she did to them after she made the storm. They were all safe. She left them in dry clothes in different places on the island. The king's son was alone, thought that his father was dead. Hell is empty and all the devils are here. Who was the speaker? Ferdinand, the king's son, said that. What is the situation? He said that while he was jumping out of the ship after the bad storm, After the bad storm, all were busy, running here and there we were all shouting, if you can remember, all lost, all lost. At this moment, Ferdinand didn't find something to do, so he jumped from the ship. How was the speaker after saying that? He was sitting alone on the island near the seashore, thinking he was the only one alive. And that was intended by Prospero to put every part of the crew alone to think that the others were dead. As for Ferdinand, being desperate during the storm, he jumped as he thought they were drowning, but Errol has left the king's son, Ferdinand, by himself, thinking that his father was dead. Errol tells Prospero that the ship sank on the same spot where Prospero and Miranda's ship had sank. Again, this was intended by Prospero and this was his orders. She also added that it was by a magic spell that the sailors were asleep inside. As you can see, Prospero is trying to create the same circumstances, the same events, the same incidents he went through with his daughter during their escape from the plot. He was trying to do the same thing and put the other characters in the same place, okay, to go through the same feelings and everything. As for the rest of the ship's fleet, they returned in sadness and grief over the dead king back home. Prospero was pleased with Earl's work. He asked her for more work, and this encouraged her to ask for her freedom. When Prospero first entered or landed on the island, he rescued Errol from a long imprisonment. And he promised her freedom after a certain time. She remembered this and she was encouraged to tell Prospero her desire that she wanted to be free. Prospero got angry and reminded her of how she was imprisoned in a tree by wicked witch Cycrus. Not only that, but he also freed her after 12 years' imprisonment and made Cycrus' son, Caliban, the half-monster, to be his servant. He then ordered her to go and to be invisible for everyone but him. I have served you faithfully, told you no lies. I have made no mistakes, nor complained. You promised to cut a whole year of my period of service. Who said that to whom? Errol the Spirit said that to her master Prospero. Why did the speaker say that? Errol said that because she wanted her freedom. She didn't want to do more work for Prospero. She got tired. What was the addressee's answer? Prospero was very angry and he reminded Errol of her suffering before he freed her from the bad witch Cycrus' magic. He wanted her to finish his work and would free her after 2 days. Prospero then warned Errol that if she didn't obey him, he would imprison her back into the tree. So, Prospero promised Errol to give him 2 days' work. Then, after these 2 days, he would free her. But if she didn't obey him, what will he do? He would imprison her back into the tree where the wicked witch Cycrax had imprisoned her before. Prospero agreed to set her free after 2 more days, and meanwhile asked Earl to remain invisible to everyone except for Prospero to know everything happening. I warn you, if you complain again, I will return you to that very tree. Prospero said that to Earl. Why did the speaker say that? Prospero warned Earl because she wanted her freedom before completing his work. Prospero reminded her that he freed her from the bad witch Cycrax, and if she complained again, he would imprison her in the same tree. What was the addressee's answer? Errol answered that she would obey Prospero without complaint. Do you think Prospero will keep his promise to Errol? We are going to see next time, inshallah. This is the end of our chapter. Thank you very much for listening. I hope you have understood the chapter and you have enjoyed it. Waiting to see you next time, inshallah, with chapter 4.